you have a very unique partnership. Can you tell us how that got started and what it was like to begin working together?
It was a story around the cafeteria. We met at the World Congress of Tobacco or Health in South Africa, in Cape Town in 2018. We were both presenting our works, for our previous work from Nigeria and from Argentina. And we listened to Dr. Chukwa Onikwena and group. They were presenting some very interesting economic evaluation on tobacco. And then we met with the people of IDRC, with Natasha, Madiha, and Samuel. And we all met in the cafeteria. And then we started realizing how many things in common we had, both groups, and we really would benefit to work together in some projects, and began to think in ways of getting funded and to do interesting things together to benefit from each other's strengths. I think we had this mathematical model, and we had this epidemiological background, and they had a very strong economist groups.
In a way, looking back, I think it's to us about getting the missing piece of a puzzle. Prior to our collaborations, we've been working on tobacco control research, but I think we also inadequately equipped with a kind of model or tools that can enable us answer kind of critical questions around what is the economic cost of tobacco burden, what are the kind of potential effect of plain packaging policy, for example. A lot of things are going on policy-wide. The model that we actually understand and have the capacity for is inadequate for. And when we see this team actually answering almost similar question that we have in mind with this kind of very precise tools, we were very happy to say, okay, let's try this. But it has evolved from just a trial to something like you can call a staple in our kind of research. As like the first point of thinking when we want to do something in terms of asking more questions and also being able to do more than we could do. So for us, this relationship is an eye-opener. It's something that has empowered us to do more than we could do. But more importantly, it reflects SASAT cooperation, because we are two kind of developing countries working together to ensure that we share ideas that can, in both ways, develop our own knowledge. But more importantly, it shows the depth of kind of what lies ahead when countries in Global South comes together, interact, and can share these kind of ideas. It can actually solve a lot of problems more than we think.
So it sounds like you were each able to think with more minds than were on your team and solve problems that you couldn't solve alone.
Yes, definitely.
Sure. And
for example, in some of the tools they used for getting the primary data in the hospitals, we try to enhance the tool, the questionnaire, and also they have some meaningful insights on what we're doing in the model and what were the more relevant outcomes. Deaths, events, quality adjusted life years, or DALYs, disability adjusted life years, that the model is able to produce in an effort to quantify this burden of disease. So there were many interactions that from my standpoint, they were very fruitful.
If there were some new researchers who were looking to start a collaboration across countries or continents, what would you suggest to them?
The first thing is alignment of interests in terms of everyone needs to bring something different but complementary to the table, because if we're doing the same thing, it will be competition. If we are so far wide apart, there will not be point of the session. So I think that was very clear in terms of both teams have something to contribute. But more importantly is passion and kind of interest.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. In the first calls, I remember that both connections were choppy. We were like, everybody was falling off the conversation, and the language barrier, it exists. It's real, and sometimes we didn't find a common language until we found it. But the passion was always prevailing and was always under our conversations and always present. So it's very important. So yeah, we are about to go on collaborating and include more countries, I think, in the future.